Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm your host, FD for Sage5.tv. In this video, I want to look at what crypto is trying to do and what it needs to solve real-world problems, competently that is, and we're also going to look at market performance. What does it actually mean for crypto to solve real-world issues? Here we'll be looking at 4 different layers. What solving real-world issues actually means in crypto, which I think it's a useful taxonomy. Which approaches are the most competent, which projects best represent each approach, and which of these are also good investments, why some are not. But before I proceed with this video, guys, please know that I am not a financial advisor. If you do require financial advice, approach someone who is actually trained to give you financial advice. The information contained in this video is just for educational as well as entertainment purposes. That said, guys, let's jump in. What does it actually mean for crypto to solve real-world issues? Well, most crypto projects fail because they solve internal crypto problems. Yeah, you're talking of internal problems such as MEV or minor extractable value, gas abstraction, yield loops, rather than external economic or institutional problems. The projects that genuinely matter tend to solve at least one of these. Trust minimization in environments where trust is expensive or unavailable. Coordination between parties who cannot easily coordinate. You're talking of institutions, jurisdictions, and supply chains. Settlement and finality across fragmented systems. Cost reductions in finance, infrastructure, or data verification, as well as permissionless access to value transfer or computation. And with that framing, we can judge competence. So if you're into meme coins, this video probably does not apply to you, but you need to watch it anyway so that you understand what you need to be looking for before you jump into any of these. Guys, this is not financial advice. So the most competent approach to solving real-world issues includes identifying a clear winner. I will define a clear winner as tokenized finance plus interoperability. Here it's RWAs plus settlement layers. This approach wins because it plugs directly into existing economic activity where trillions of dollars reside. It does not require behavioral change from end users. It reduces friction, cost, and reconciliation errors. It is already being adopted by institutions. So if you haven't been looking at interoperability and real-world assets or settlement layers, you may want to start doing so now, because when adoption starts going, those assets or cryptos are going to fly. Don't risk being left behind. Not financial advice. If crypto succeeds when it hides itself behind better plumbing, the benefits are endless. That is just my own view. And the projects that are genuinely solving real-world problems, let's put them into tiers, maybe tier 1 up to tier 3 or tier 1 up to tier 4. So tier 1 is core infrastructure that institutions actually use. These are the most competent efforts. So if your blockchain or your favorite crypto is not a core infrastructure that institutions actually use, you may want to think again. And the first one would be ChainLink, the data and coordination layer. And the problem solved by ChainLink, well, reliable, tamper-resistant data across chain messaging and settlement coordination. But we know performance of the link token is linked to other things like sentiment and hype, and people are still underplaying ChainLink or any oracle for that matter. And why does it matter to have ChainLink to solve the problems it's trying to solve? Well, finance cannot function without trusted data feeds, identity, and messaging. ChainLink is already embedded in DeFi, tokenized assets, institutional pilots, and cross-chain settlements. But let's have some reality check though. Almost every serious RWA or institutional blockchain effort quietly depends on ChainLink. Investment quality, well, I think ChainLink is tier 1 crypto, so investment quality, I think, in my opinion, is high. Not explosive, but structural. Link behaves more like picks and shovels than a speculative app. So, do you want to buy picks and shovels? If that is your objective, consider ChainLink. Do your own research. If you got a financial advisor, ask them what they think about ChainLink. Moving on to the settlement layer, you got Ethereum and other layer 1s similar to Ethereum. I'm talking of the likes of Solana, Cardano, and BNB Chain, and many more. And the problem they solve is they offer neutral, censorship-resistant settlement with global composability. And it matters because most real-world use cases don't want a blockchain, they want a code-neutral programmable ledger. And it is not flashy, but it is where serious money settles. Investment quality is high for it, lower upside, very high survivability. So if you're looking for 100x, 1000x, maybe not it, but if you're looking for sustainability and survivability within this market, maybe long-term holds, not financial advice, it could be one of those. Next, you got Canton Network, institutional permission public hybrids. And Canton solves the problem of privacy-preserving coordination between regulated institutions. So what does it matter to have that problem solved? Well, banks cannot use fully public chains for everything, but they also don't want siloed ledgers. This is where real finance meets crypto pragmatism. And the investment quality for Canton, I think it's high if token economics mature, currently more strategic than speculative. So Canton is a tier 1 as well. Next, you got tier 2, where we've got direct real-world assets and cash flow tokenization. And the king thing there is Ondo, or tokenized treasuries. Ondo solves the problem of access to yield-bearing assets within on-chain settlements. It matters because yield is real demand. Tokenized T-bills are a superior savings product in many jurisdictions, so you can get them anywhere in the world: India, Africa, Latin America, Europe, and many other countries in the Far East. That's a win, right? This is not ideology, it's financial engineering. So the likes of Ondo are doing financial engineering on the blockchain, and Ondo is also a high-quality investment, in my opinion. You do your own research. It offers clear product market fit and measurable cash flows. Next, you got Maca, now known as Sky, ticker symbol MKR or Sky. I think it's Sky now. Sky solves the problem of decentralized credit backed by real-world and on-chain collateral. This is good because credit creation is the heart of finance, and Sky quietly does what many DeFi banks only talk about. Investment quality, I think it's still high. It's complex, but it's proven. So that was the end of tier 2, where we've got Ondo and Sky. There will be other similar projects, okay? I can't give you all conclusive list. I'm just giving you examples. You do your own research. Next, let's go to tier 3, infrastructure for computation and automation. And the one that you need to consider here, I think, Render, or decentralized compute. Render is solving the problem of underutilized GPU capacity. If it's a problem, I think it is, because it's oversupply, or supply is not meeting demand where it is, plus rising demand for rendering and AI workloads. This matters because compute is a real commodity with real demands. This is one of the few crypto projects that maps cleanly onto a non-crypto industry, rendering. So Render is one to watch. Investment quality, I think it's medium, high cyclical, but real. So it's medium to high cyclical, but it's real because you're also competing with legacy or Web2 technology like your ChatGPT and all that. They are doing all sorts of things. The other one you need to be looking at is Internet Computer, because it's solving the problem of hosting full applications on chain. Not many projects do that, if any. Why it matters? It eliminates centralized cloud providers for certain classes of applications. This is ambitious, I must admit, but technically impressive. Adoption is slower than visional, so that's one thing to consider. Investment quality here is medium. This is high risk and high concept density. The final tier is tier 4, where we are looking at niche but legitimate real-world problem solvers. And the likes of Helium and HNT, they're trying to solve the problem of decentralized wireless infrastructure. You might as well throw in World Mobile in there with the World Mobile token. And this matters because telecom infrastructure is expensive and fragmented. Reality check here is that of mixed execution, but the idea is real. Investment quality is medium to low. There are some operational risks that dominate this tier. You also have Falcon and the Phil token. Problem solved here is that of decentralized storage markets. Why it matters? Data persistence and redundancy are real needs. And reality check here is that it is technically valid, but economically complex. Investment quality is medium to low for Falcon and the likes of Akashi, Iagon from Cardano, and many others. So which of these are great investments or examples of great investments? In my opinion, not financial advice. I'm going to give you some uncomfortable truth. The best real-world problem solvers are often not the fastest gaining token. Best balance of competence plus investment quality. Top tier, strongest overall, I think is Ethereum. But keep in mind, the best real-world problem solvers are not often the fastest gaining tokens. So if that holds and it remains true, then Bitcoin could be questionable. I'm just saying. Ethereum will dominate settlement layer category. ChainLink, indispensable middleware. Ondo, direct cash flow tokenization. And for second tier, higher risk and higher potential, you got Sky, formerly Maca, credit plus governance complexity. You got Render for compute scarcity narrative, and some selective RWA platforms with real-world institutional usage, such as your Render. Then you have some high concept execution risk plays. You got Internet Computer and ICP, Helium, and emerging AI execution or automation layers, only if they show real revenue. So the pattern you should notice as a crypto is that crypto succeeds in the real world when it integrates rather than replaces, reduces friction rather than evangelizes, hides complexity rather than showcasing it, saves existing capital rather than hoping new capital appears. So if you want the most competent approach to solving real world issues, or you are looking to invest in a crypto solution that solves real world issues, it is crypto as a financial infrastructure and coordination middleware, not as ideology. If you want great investments, look where value flows already exist. Crypto resolves cost or risk, and token value capture is enforceable. Most crypto projects fail because they try to invent a new world. The successful ones quietly upgrade the old one. So what is your favorite crypto doing? Is it trying to reinvent the world, or it's successfully upgrading the old one quietly? Let us know in the comment section. So a day will come for the likes of ChainLink and Ethereum, not just yet, but when the timing aligns, you guys will see some changes. Until the next one, guys, FD for ChainLink.tv signing on for now. Bye.